Oh, fuck me. I was just talking to myself that whole time. Well, that's unfortunate. Well, sorry about that. I just feel like a big dumb idiot. No, I did not mean to be muted. Thanks for pointing that out to me. I was talking to you guys, and I was just like, oh, chat's tired today or something. No, totally did not mean to be muted. I was responding to you. I was like, oh, so yes, I am gonna do log analyze. Let me just say everything that I was saying. Totally gonna do some log reviews today. Congrats on your rain. That's sick. Very happy for you. Rain's awesome. I was saying, after you said that, I was like pulling up this character's gear and being like, I just unfortunately don't have a lot on this guy. Because this is an alt. I think I've gotten only a few pieces from 25 man. Yeah, I was doing some recording earlier today, or like well, yeah, doing it without my microphone anyway. Finish off snowbolts. Oh, fuck. Well, yeah, anyway, thanks for pointing that out. Because it would have been even worse if I just, you know, waited even longer without realizing it. But yeah, and I was like talking about people's UIs and stuff before. Like, obviously you guys didn't hear any of that. But whatever. I was just making fun of the other people in my guild's UIs. And like calling them out and being like one guy, I was like, your UI is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, or kind of just being a dick to be a dick. Yeah. So I'll do one review in between raids. So once we finish this raid, I can do another one. Or once we finish this raid, I'll do a log review. And then after the raid after this one, which is my main Shadow Priest, maybe do like 2 more reviews. I'm a little bit tired this week because I had one of my best friend's weddings this past weekend, and I was in the wedding party, so it was basically like a weekend long of just like drinking and kind of being like I was in college again. So I needed like extra recovery time this week. So we'll see how long my brain holds it together for log reviews. Yo, what's up, Reese? How's it going, man? Oh, fuck. Alright. Damage isn't particularly great, but it's just an alt. Who cares? Oh, nice. Avoided the freeze. Let's go. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. Good finish. Good finish. Very cool. I mean, for my ult, I feel like that was pretty decent damage. How many times did you bring up parsing at the wedding? None. You know what's funny is I haven't told a lot of like my real life friends that I have a YouTube channel. So I've told maybe like half of them. So there was a lot of them there where I'm like, yeah, I did this thing and it's actually been doing kind of well and it's been fun. So that was like a fun conversation. I did not bring up parsing. I think not many, you know, probably a decent amount of them played WoW when like high school age, but like haven't since being like an adult. But like I told them I make like guides and stuff and try to show how to do things well. You know, I try to do things well sometimes. You got Heroic and Noob down. Congrats. You had to pug a spot after one wipe. He said, hey, try changing this. And we downed him immediately. Hell yeah. That's a great pug. Wow. I feel like pugs are usually like, all right, you wiped them out. Peace. That's actually kind of sick, though. Congrats. Also, sit on your face. Great name. Now, when you've gotten some experience with ICC, do you think ICC is the best raid in Classic so far? I mean, best is subjective for sure. Favorite? Probably. I think, you know, I really enjoyed Sunwell, to be honest. I think Sunwell, if it had a few more bosses, would be like the difficulty and like the mechanics are cool. I think Ulduar is a cool raid, but you know, after doing it for like 8 months, I'm just like kind of over it. I think ICC it's very different. Like Ulduar was kind of more of like a gear check. Like I feel like a lot of the fights were just really hard until you hit a certain amount of gear and then you basically one-shot them. Algalon was definitely different. That was like learning the mechanics, doing everything right. So like it's not a gear check on every fight, but I feel like ICC for the first 11 on Heroic, full BIS phase 3, you can kill every single boss. It's purely mechanics checks, which is kind of cool. It's definitely more the retail style, where it's like retail definitely has like DPS checks where you need gear to push past things, but it is kind of cool to see that the emphasis on mechanics, which hasn't really been there in Classic. So as somebody who came from Mythic retail rating, I really enjoy that, but I know it's not for everybody. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely my favorite raid for sure so far, I think. Yes, nice. Didn't get interrupted. I love it. I think not getting interrupted by Kiss is just one of the best feelings in the world. How long till volcano? 21 seconds. Want to time this potion. You know, not my best parse, but it still felt pretty good. 11.1. I think my best on this guy is like 11.3. That's pretty solid. I'll take it. Most fun says / least fun Shadow Priest fights in ICC. Honestly, I loved Professor Futureside. There's a lot going on, a lot of things to dodge. You know, some good multi-dotting opportunities with the slimes. Oh, can we get a mage table, please? So I think it was really cool because on every pull I was consistently like top 3 DPS on that fight. So it was very cool to have a hard fight where I am one of the biggest contributors. Now, obviously it's not really a DPS race until phase 3 or like sub 35%. So my DPS is going to fall off there relative to like, you know, the fire mages and the warlocks. But, I think that fight is really fun, personally. And Syndragos is the fucking worst. Fuck that fight. That fight sucks just because you get a debuff where if you watched my video on like my thoughts, I think it was my thoughts video or like the short that I made, you just see me like blow up the raid. Where essentially you get a 30-second debuff and the optimal thing to do is just not cast for 30 seconds. Want to buy tier 10 4 set on Shadow? Yeah, it's sick. It'll be really good. That's why it's like a lot of people in the Shadow Freeze Discord are saying like, oh, you know, we need gear to compete and stuff. And I'm like, we kind of don't. Like, we'll be even better with gear. But like, I was holding my own on pretty much every single fight in ICC. With, you know, current gear. I wasn't using, nobody was equipping any gear that we got from ICC. You thought sitting on your face meant you were lying face down or taking a nap? That's 5, interesting. That's pretty funny.
4, 3, 2, 1.
I forgot to put my Glyph of Shadow Arcane. Whoops. Okay.
Focus.
Love playing whack-a-mole. You know, it's like... Oh, did I get him? I did not.
Dispel.
Got 1 dispel out of me. Did we kill Lich King? No. We didn't even get to attempt him, unfortunately. We were missing a lot of our like core raiders for the final day. So we actually kind of like... We just like weren't good at re-clearing Syndragosa. And we killed her in our first raid, and then we had a second lockout, and we could not kill her in the second. Oh. So no, we didn't even get to attempt Lich King, unfortunately, but you bet your ass we are going to put a shit ton of time. And I'm not going to be able to stream this next PTR session, unfortunately, because the super secret strategies are going to come out. The stuff that other people may or may not be aware of, but it's mana potion. Oh, forgot I rebound that key. Bro, what did I do to you? Stop attacking me, other than like put dots on you and all your friends.
Dispel.
Nah, someone else got that guy.
Dispel.
Yeah, they have a stun. Oh, cool. Perfect amount of mana left. Easy. Do you baitcast snowballs and kiss? Snowballed, yes. So like what Reese said, I'll use Mass Dispel. I'll use Mass Dispel to bait out when I have snowballed. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Hey, what's up, Brains? How's it going, man? Yeah, the world first race for ICC is gonna be awesome. It will be. I'm. Everything I've heard about Lich King is it's an incredibly hard fight, so I'll be very interested to see how many kill at week 1. I don't doubt the pets on that fight. I mean, it's technically a DPS upgrade, but just because I don't have frames for it, so I'm just using my frames. I mean, I could if I wanted to, if I cared about, like, if I was super min-maxing trying to parse, I would, but I don't particularly care. Welcome to Get World First. I don't unfortunately know about that one. I wish we would, something I've been an advocate of is private server testing, but other people in guild leadership are against it, which is unfortunate. Because my whole thing is, like, we're raiding for, you know, one of these splits takes 30 minutes. We bang them all out in like 2 hours across a week. we might as well use that time for some private server stuff, and no one else was really on board, or everyone was kind of like, yeah, maybe. So I think there will be other guilds that have a ton more experience. I'm sure their guilds have killed Lich King on private servers. I'm sure of that. Now, whether they had buffs or gear, you know, not sure. Like, no, I think we'll do really well, but you know, I'm probably biased when I say that. I like our raid team. But I think this is going to be the first raid tier where the DPS differences from like Horde and Alliance really do actually make a decent difference. And I'm not going to say that, that's like an excuse for like losing the race or anything. I'm just saying, like, I think there will be DPS checks on Lich King that those racials really just do make a whole hell of a lot easier. Oh fuck, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. Nice. Just kind of fuck that up.
Defensive.
That's fine. 15.1. Full Bist, Shadow Priest on War Main. I mean, that would be fun to play. We'll play that eventually. You know, just give me like 3 months. In our server, there's Sunked Guild doing private servers every day. Yeah, wasn't Sunked. Yeah, I mean, Sunked has videos you can see from like 3 years ago they were posted. So I've seen some of their videos while like prepping for our own raid prep. Like, there's a lot of guilds who are doing a shit ton of prep right now, and we're unfortunately not one of them. Like, our prep is watching what other people are doing, which is a surefire way to make sure you can't beat somebody if you're watching them do it first, right? So that's why it's like we have good players who are motivated. I don't know, like the annoying thing to me is like leadership did not even want to put out a poll just being like, are you interested in private server testing? I brought it up in one of our meetings and they're just kind of like, nope. Oh no, Alex, I just didn't stream yesterday. I've been very tired this week, so I did my one raid and then I logged off for the night, so I didn't stream. I didn't really have the brain power for log reviews or anything, and I was just like, I kind of want to chill tonight. Hey, you killed a noob for the first time? Congrats, man. That's awesome. No Conqueror tokens? Yeah, I mean, you know, it's okay. You'll get them. I mean, the thing is like, you don't. I mean, you want them. You want to try to get 2 tokens if you can, but at least 2, because the 2 that come after aren't as good. They're essentially like 20 DPS a piece, but the first 2 are like 80 DPS a piece. Do I have a stream schedule? I mean, it's usually like Monday, Wednesday, Thursday around the same time, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. I had a wedding this weekend and was very tired, so I just chose not to stream on Monday and Wednesday. And then probably not going to stream next week at all because of because of we're going PTR. that thing, you know. So I don't think I'm going to be allowed to stream this PTR test. So I don't know if we'll do splits at some point and I'll stream then. I just unfortunately won't be able to stream ICC, which is sad. Because it's a lot more fun when you can like share it with other people, you know. Like I really do enjoy being able to stream for you guys, but I also understand like the priorities of my guild is to be a, you know, top progressing guild. And if we come up with some good strategies, we don't want other people to know them. When's PTR? PTR is starting the 20th, so that's 2 weeks from yesterday. Is it? No, sorry, it's 15th, not 20th. It's the 15th to 20th. So what? Today's Thursday, so it starts a week from tomorrow. It starts Friday, and it goes until Wednesday. Submerge soon. $300K. Okay, this is gonna hit me or not. Oh my god. Your first regalia is 120. Yeah, I mean the first two regalias are really good for Shadow. Getting the pants in the chest. It's the two after that that kind of suck. Or just like whatever. If you're doing two-piece, which you should be, it's whatever those two pieces of tier 9 you're replacing are. Hey, you removed your Mind Flay macro. Congrats. That's a big step. It's really like taking off training wheels, and but it's like more than that. It's gonna make the game harder, but more fulfilling. Oh, come through. I haven't gotten spikes on me in weeks, maybe months. I mean, if you're getting 99s with macros, and you're already really good, it's just going to take some getting used to not using it. Kind of need to go hard on ads here. I'm going to do something I shouldn't do.
Interrupt.
But I'm going to dot the next set of ads even though we're not killing them. Oh, fuck. I don't have my... Oh, I think... So you shouldn't be doing this. Doing it for the parse. I mean, the thing is, you still do. You want them to get below 75% HP anyway, so it's not completely worthless damage. But there's other people who will do that. Because they don't burrow until they have at least 75% HP. I'll put that one. Still not a great parse for this guy. Whatever. Yeah, that was really good tank position for us. Ooh, Misery's End. Damn. We got both weapons. Both caster weapons. Oh my god, we got 3 Vank, 1 Protector. Alright, let's see what I can snag here. Probably not this. Maybe a weapon? Is that it? I mean, another one's Solace, right? Yeah, it's healer stuff. Alright, well, maybe I'll get a weapon out of this. Alright, cool. That was our first raid for today. I'm gonna do the thing where I put up a video while we do loot. Let me actually just So we're gonna do loot. Probably take like 10 minutes. I think I was watching your videos that yeah, the Cindy trinket's greater than DFO for sure. That's not what I wanted to click. But yeah, so while we do loot, I'm just gonna put on video that you guys can watch for a little bit, and then we'll be back. We'll do some log reviews. I have another raid on my main Shadow Priest in like 45 minutes. So we'll do some of that stuff. But yeah, so while we do loot the officers, I just need to arrange my computer. But all right, I will be back, and I will see you guys in a bit. Go officer scene. Go. I'll be back in like 5-10 minutes. We're like already almost done, so I'll come back in a second. And we're getting caught up on tier. Okay, basically done. Doing like the last 2 items. I'll just leave up the ICC vodkas. Might be like another minute. Damn. Cool. All right. Pause this. Let me go to OBS and swap it back to me. All right, cool. All right, that's first raid. I got a dagger. Very nice. All right, who was it? Somebody already said that they wanted a log review because the next raid's for in 35 minutes. Thanks, brains. Colby Garrettson, if you're still here, we can. I can take a look at your character. And then everybody just left me in the Discord channel. And then we can go back to doing log reviews. Can you sign up again, Alex? Yeah, Alex, you can go second. All right, Colby. Sorry, I know you already put it in chat. What's your character's name? Log reviews. So in between raids or just when there's some downtime, I'll do log reviews, help people. You know, anyone who's a shadow priest anyway. The other classes I'm not too well versed in. You want one? All right. I'm not going to do a ton, so it might just be you three. So Colby will go first, then Alex, and then Brains. Let me just make a doc so I don't forget. All right, Colby, Alex, Brains. Might just do 3 today. We'll see how I'm feeling later. All right, Handyman. I'll go last. I'm chill. You got me last stream. I mean, the last one I did was like 2 weeks ago, so a lot happens in 2 weeks, you know. ICC was on the PTR. Handyman. Atiyesh. All right, which fight would you like? Seems like Anub might be the one that you need the most help on, but I'll let you pick. And then here, let me just put up a timer for time to next raid. Timer. Let me set this real quick. What time is it at? 35 minutes. Anub? Alright, cool. Let's do Anub. Alright, Anub's a fun one. Alright, let's do your most recent kill. First, let's just take a look at your gear. Actually, where I like to start. Okay, interesting. So your alliance, 390 hits a lot. You basically want 130 less than that. So you want to be at 263, 262 hit cap, either one. This elemental focus stone, if you could just remove this and put in like a different trinket, that would be awesome. Not only is this trinket not very good, you're not getting any benefit out of that hit rating. So I'd recommend if you could get, you know, obviously Flare. If not, Scale of Fates, Abyssal Rune, farm that from TOC 5-man, would be the next ones after Flare that you should try to get. Okay, you got the Rune. Perfect. Awesome. You're doing my work for me. All right, cool. Other than that, everything looks awesome. Very good gear. Cool. All right, so now the fun thing on this fight. It's basically a tale of two fights. How much damage are you doing to the adds? And then how much are you doing to the boss? So interesting. You're like the first person I've ever seen who's not hitting the 600k cap. So are you familiar with how the adds work on this fight from a parsing perspective? So essentially you can do up to 600k damage to them. Like, I don't know if you were paying attention to me. Let me see if I actually can pull up these logs and I can explain it. We don't have... Did anyone log that raid? Because, so if you remember, the last set of ads we didn't kill, but I threw up vampiric touches on them. Now, the reason is because I wasn't quite at 600k damage. No, maybe. And that 600k did nothing to really help us kill the fight. If anything, it made the fight slower because I was spending globals attacking the ads instead of the boss. But you want to be around 600k damage to maximize the damage you can do to the ads. After 600, so it literally says right here, damage done to new Ruby and Burrowards is capped at 600k per player. So if you want to parse on this fight, you want to make sure that you're hitting that 600k cap, but not going above it. So basically you're as close to 600k as you can be. I've seen people that are like 800k or 1,000,000. Just the more damage you do past 600k, it just doesn't count. So your details meter might look great, but it's not going to look great on the logs. So that's one thing. Number two, let's talk about the spells you're actually using. So Mind Seer on this first set of ads. The second set, Shadow Word Pain, Devouring Plague, maybe one Vampiric Touch. Shadow Word Pain, Mind Seer, Shadow Word Pain, Mind Seer. Okay, so Mind Seer is good to use for sure. Actually, let's zoom out. Let's look at Mind Seer as a whole. Your Mind Seer DPS is like 6k, 5k, maybe 5.5k. That's fine. That's not bad. The reason I'm looking at your Mind Seer DPS is because basically instead of Mind Seer, you'd probably be casting Mind Flay. If we look at Mind Flay, you can see this peaks around 4K. So anytime your Mind Seer is above 4K, it's essentially a DPS increase. But depending on the positioning of your ads, that can be like 10 to 15K if you can hit 4 different targets with your Mind Seer. So the reason I'm bringing that up is because your Mind Seer, it's good, but if you, I mean, this really has to do with the positioning of the ads by your tanks. If they don't do a good job at getting the ads close to the boss, it's really hard to hit 4 of them or 3 of the ads plus the boss if you're Mind Seering off of an ad, which is what I try to do. So really trying to make sure that you can, when you're Mind Seering, if you want to try to hit at least 3 or 4 ads. But that's not really your biggest problem here. I just wanted to point that out because that's something you were doing. Something you're not doing, if we go back to the Burrowers, is using Vampiric Touch. So the thing is, you're using a lot of Shadow Word Pain here. Your DPS would have been a lot higher if you were using Vampiric Touch because it does more damage per tick. Like average hit 3.2K. I don't know, this might be really small for you guys. Let me zoom in. Average hit 3.2K. For Vampiric Touch, average hit for Shadow Word Pain 2.3K. So even if you get the same amount of ticks, the same amount of hits, your Vampiric Touch hits for more. Your Vampiric Touch also benefits from haste, so it's going to tick faster, which means you're more likely to get the full benefit of the cast than you are with Shadow Word Pain. Now, these ads usually live at least 18 seconds, which is the full duration of a Shadow Word Pain. But you always want to be using Vampiric Touch. It's just the better dot to use, especially with 2-piece tier 9. Yeah, if your ad placement isn't great, it's going to be hard to get more Mind Seer value than you are getting. So the unfortunate thing, that's kind of out of your control. Let's see if they put up our logs yet. Okay, here we go. So let's go to mine. This was actually one of my worst in a while. But you see how I have this. So let's look at Burrowers. So you can see my Mind Seer is actually pretty crappy. Very bad. This Mind Seer is really good. First 2 Mind Seers are really bad. But you can see Vampiric Touch, I'm peaking at just under 9K DPS here. This is around 7K DPS. Again, 7.6K DPS. And these were 7K just from the few that I casted to put me over that 600K. So you see how this says 600K on the dot? That's because damage stops being counted at 600K. If I click on View Unfiltered Damage, you can say I did 626K. So from a parsing perspective, you want to be as close to 600K as you can. Vampiric Touch is going to be your most efficient source of damage on the ads. Mind Seer comes after that, but that's only when your Mind Seer damage looks like this, and it's like almost 10K DPS, as opposed to this, which mine was way worse than yours, so I'm calling myself out here for having a shitty Mind Seer. But if you're Mind Seering and you're only hitting like 1 or 2 targets, that's not only is it not good value, or actually, it's more than this because I'm also hitting the boss. I mean, it's not much more. This was like 3 to 4K. And so you can see here I spike up to about 15K on my Mind Seer from hitting the boss and 3 ads. So that was kind of perfect. But does that make sense? From basically what you want to change is using Vampiric Touch on the ads. That's going to be your most efficient source of damage throughout them, or throughout the fight on the ads. And then the other thing, let's bring up this tool. Don't use Shadow Word Pain. Right, exactly. You don't want to use Shadow Word Pain. So, let's just look at, interesting. Your Mind Flay delays kind of all over the place, which is, some of them are good, some of them, well, I guess so. Like on your axis, for example, your Mind Flay delay is 100, which is really good, but you had 14 early Mind Flay clips. We go to this Anub, you had 16 early Mind Flay clips, so you lost 167 DPS just because you stopped your Mind Flay a little bit too early when going to cast another spell. So you just want to make sure you're not doing that. If you're using a no channeling Mind Flay macro, then this could make it hard because your Mind Flay won't interrupt it itself, but like other spells would. So if you go to cast Mind Blast after Mind Flay, it could interrupt it, I think. Actually, I forget. I don't know if you can interrupt spells. I forget the no channeling if you can't interrupt that cast, or if the next cast that you're casting can't interrupt it, if that makes sense. I don't know. I don't use it, so I don't really know. So Andreas, that's a great question. Do you only apply VT as the ads walk in? That's the best time to, because if you think about like the DPS opportunity in the moment of the ads coming into you, they're not grouped up, so you can't get any mind seer value. So it would just be single target value on the boss that you would be getting instead of those VTs. Once everything's grouped up, you can get mind seer value. So ideally, your vampiric touching when there's only the opportunity for single target, so everything isn't grouped up yet. And then once everything is grouped up, you'd be mind searing. Now, if your ads take a long time to die and they're not really grouped together, then multiple VTs might be the way to go. And that's going to be something you need to evaluate in the moment. That's something that's really hard for me to know from the logs. You can't interrupt with Mind Flay only, but you can interrupt with other casts. That's how I thought it worked. Yeah, so if you're using a no channeling Mind Flay macro, then your Mind Flay won't interrupt itself, but like your Mind Blast or any dot that you go to cast will. So that's just something you need to be careful of, because you probably are used to just like spamming your Mind Flay button, but you can't do that with your other spells, which is why I just recommend not using one whatsoever. But I don't know if you're doing that or not. The other thing, let's see, this is your dot downtime with VT, very good. So Devouring Plague, average dot downtime is 3 seconds. This is our most important dot. Now, you can put up a lot more VTs because you can put that on every target, but Devouring Plague ticks the hardest of all of our dots. So you want to make sure as soon as that falls off, so you can see like the downtime, so clipped, let's see, downtime, clipped previous. Oh, so I guess you're basically always clipping it. That's really interesting. So you see how you got 8 out of 9 hits, 8 out of 9 hits, 8 out of 9, 8 out of 9. I don't really know why you have downtime if you got 8 out of 9 hits. You should just try to make sure you're not cutting off this final hit. I wonder if this is something with the analyzer, or if this is something you're actually doing. I can't really tell. But you only have 3 Devouring Plagues that ticked for their full duration. Every other one got clipped immediately. You're not macroing, just bad. No, you're not bad. Everybody's improving. You know, everybody is improving, and some people can improve more than others. That's all. DP is way too much mana. How is he not going Well, because in this kind of gear, mana is not really a problem. And there's a ton of downtime with the scarabs. Maybe a lost tick is counted as downtime of that. Oh, I guess that makes sense. Right. Well, then how do we have 6 seconds here? Oh, because he's probably just died. Okay, so... Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so something you're doing here with Devouring Plague. So Devouring Plague can only be on one target. Let's go into the game real quick. Devouring Plague. The final sentence, this spell can only affect one target at a time, which means if it's on a target and you cast it on a new target, it will leave the first target. Something you did here with these burrowers is this cast was happened at 418, 419, 420, 421. You basically used Devouring Plague 4 times in a row, but it only can apply once. So like if you're not moving, this isn't what you want to be doing. I don't know if you're moving. If we go to 418, get rid of my log. Kind of want to see what you're doing at 418 now. I don't even see you. How do I keep you? Oh, okay, there you are. So you're at the very back. So you're not moving at all. You're still standing right here, 418 to 419 or to 420, whatever. You shouldn't be like, you want to spam Devouring Plague for movement, not when you're standing still DPSing. This is a ton of lost DPS just because you're recasting it and you're constantly removing it from your target. You go by 30% if you haven't dispersioned. I mean, depends on your kill time, depends on how many replenishments are in your raid. There's some other things I can definitely cause it to be a longer or more mana intensive fight. But yeah, so it's really important that you know the time remaining on your Devouring Plague and that you're not swapping it between targets like this. It doesn't seem like you were doing that. Oh, I guess here's another example. So you had it on a noob, you then put it on a burrower. I mean, actually, at this point in time, this is after a noob burrows and he could have been dying. So like, not something I would really worry about. The other thing I will say is that Swarm Scarabs don't count for your parse. So you can see you put Devouring Plague on Burrower 5, then a Swarm Scarab, then Burrower 6. In an ideal parsing world, after a new burrows, you're only attacking the burrowers. So the big adds that are remaining, not the little guys, because the little guys don't count for your parse. So for you, it's your general like rotational things look not bad. It's like target priority and making sure you understand how your spells work. So again, Devouring Plague, we'd only want to spam like this if we were running. You don't want to spam it back to back ever if you're not moving. So that's something to think about. Just making sure that you can only have it on one target. So making sure it's ticking for that full duration. All right, let's go back. So for you, so two big things, and this is really how do you optimize your damage to the adds and how do you optimize your damage to the boss. All right, let's see Shadow Fiend. Okay, so Shadow Fiend, another optimization, what I would do is use it on the pull. There's no reason to wait this long, because this reason here. If you use it on pull, it's a 3-minute cooldown, so you'd have it back up at this point in time. You want to save it to use just before Lust, because if your Shadow Fiend is cast during Lust, it doesn't benefit from Lust. It has to be cast before. So if you cast your Shadow Fiend on pull, you can then cast it right at this point, like 2 or 3 seconds before your Lust goes out, and then it can benefit from Lust for the remainder. So this one right here would have done just more damage. Minor, but something that you should think about on pretty much every fight is when can I use Shadow Fiend to maximize its uses throughout a fight and also maximize its damage. The other thing, let's look at potions. Okay, so you potioned well. So you used a haste pot on pre-pull or as your pre-potion, which is really smart. And then use it during Lust, so that's good. Yeah, so I think for you, it's making sure that you're optimally damaging the adds. So don't use Shadow Word Pain. Use VT on all of them. So if you watched how I did the fight, I did 1 VT on every single enemy as they were running out. And then from there, I would single target the boss or Mind Seer if the adds were close enough to. So essentially just do a single VT as they're running in and then Mind Seer from there once they're all grouped up. And you should do that on every wave. There's no real reason to use Shadow Word Pain. It just ticks too slowly, doesn't really do a ton of damage. And then Mind Seer is most effective when they're all grouped up. I guess any questions on that? Sorry, that was kind of a lot. I think I just threw like a lot about that fight on you. I want to leave this raid, swap over to my other priest real quick. Oh, I need allergy medicine. If VT falls off, should you reapply? That's gonna depend. Sorry, 1 second. My allergies have been kicking my ass recently. So for you, if you can't get a good, if you can't get good Mind Seer value, so like if we go back here, and like these Mind Seers are fine, but if you're not getting a ton of Mind Seer value because the adds are just like too far apart, then if your VT falls off and they still have like 40-50% HP, the adds, I would probably re-VT. VT is really efficient for the amount of damage it does, for only taking 1 global cooldown to be applied to the target. So if they live for a decent amount of time for that second set, VTs, then it could definitely be worth it. The thing is, if you have bad ad positioning and you can't reach with Mind Seer, that means like your warlocks aren't going to be able to hit with their seeds. Other classes that are AoEing aren't going to be able to hit them all because they're not going to be as grouped up. So it's probably a good idea if you have some that are really far out to apply a second VT. But you'll have to evaluate it on like an ad by ad basis. It's really hard to say a blanket statement where you should or you shouldn't. It's gonna depend. And you kind of need to figure it out throughout the raid or throughout the fight. That all make sense? Hold on, I'm going to sit down. Yeah, no worries, man. Happy to help. We got 15 minutes until the raid. Okay, so hold on. What I want to do real quick. Get invited to this raid. I'm gonna get my tailoring buffs. And then, so Alex, you said you'll go third. So Brains, we can do you next for log reviews. We'll probably get interrupted when the next raid starts, but we can at least start on your logs if you want. What am I doing? I want tailoring buffs. Oh, I turned TSM off. I'm like, where is everything? Oh my god, I hate this. Okay, here we go. Moonshroud. All right, Brains. What's your character and realm? And then I'm gonna get my tailoring buffs real quick and make it to the raid, and then we can start on your logs. What realm are you on? I guess it probably is. You're probably the only one with Brains with that little accent above your eye. Let's see. Are you on Golemag? Skullflame or Gehenna's? Spellweave. Golem. Golemag. Alright, cool. Oh, you have good logs. Nice. What fight do you want to do? I'll pull them over in a second once I get these buffs. I don't care about min-maxing stuff on my alts, but for my main, I want to make sure I get maximum amount of time on my buffs. Are tailoring buffs included in your logs? Yeah, I mean, no, the DPS isn't filtered. You just get an extra, 20 haste, 20 crit rating, and 20 health in MP5. The health in MP5 doesn't mean anything. But the haste and crit, it's nice. I think it's like 70 DPS when I simmed it, the full tailoring buffs at some point. Oh yeah, Brains, do you have a fight that you want to look at, or do you want me to pick? Looks like Valks might be the one you need the most help on, but that could be your soaking. So if you're soaking, then it just kind of sucks. A noob because no good log there, but maybe also first boss. Never mind. Okay, which one? Sorry. Don't go twins. We're just so excited to be back in this instance. Right, you are soaking. Okay, that makes sense. That would explain your logs. The little 84 sticking out there. I've had to soak before. It actually sucks. I'm not a fan. Once I get here, get to the instance, I'll log out, and then we can take a look into your logs. All right, so a noob or maybe the first boss. How about let's do beasts? Because we just did a noob. So maybe some of the things I said could help you for a noob, and then we can do beasts just to try to spread the love. Cool. Oh, I mean, your log's awesome. Isn't the added damage of tricks? Yes, tricks is filtered. All right, cool. Let's look at your gear. Your gear is probably good. 299 hit. Your horde. Two piece. Nice. Yeah, you're like 10 hit over, assuming you don't have a hit gem, which you don't. All right, cool. Yeah, your gear is awesome. Very nice. Need back and mace. What do you have? You have. Oh, I mean, you technically. Oh, yeah. I'd say you either want mace or you want the offhand. Barb and then like the hits or the crit spirit offhand. I think it's like 30 DPS. I'm not sure for horde. At least for alliance, using the dagger and the other offhand is like 30 DPS worse than the mace and this offhand. But I mean, your gear's still really good. All right, cool. So this will be fun. Your logs are really good. Which the thing about having good logs is it makes it a lot harder to find where to improve, but hopefully we can find something. I mean, you guys have a fast kill 405. I mean, really, so you had 5 clips, lost 100 DPS. You know, you might be aware of that. Look at your VTs. That's because, oh, you're new. I mean, if you're new to Shadow Priest, you're doing a great job. The one thing that sticks out to me is your downtime for VT. So 1.4 seconds. If you look at DP, you have 0.8 seconds. So just trying to apply your DP, or I'm sorry, your VT a little bit faster. Now, for a lot of people who are watching, like the stuff we're going to talk about is actually pretty minor. Like he already has a 99. His log is awesome. But we're going to be talking about like what it takes to like consistently get 99s. So a lot of you might think, oh, but like my dot downtime isn't even 1.4 seconds or something like that. So just know, depending on your skill level, there's different optimizations to make. Oh, you use the Mind Flay macro. I would recommend, I mean, hold on, let's see. This is just a beast log? That's interesting. Hold on. Because if you say use them, like it can be fine. Do you guys do this like, is this all the fights? I want to just check out your normal delay, like kind of outside of that, just that fight. Brains. If you look at an old one, it's much worse. Okay, so 240 MS. This is just from, so this is your right, I took this one. So I took the one from August 29th. So not this current week, which was 2 days ago. I took the one from before. So Mind Flay delay 240, 200, 240, 265. Yeah, I would definitely recommend not using the macro. If you can learn to time it, you can probably reduce this by half, if not more. The thing is, it depends how much you want to optimize. I will say using the macro, it's literally like using training wheels on a bike. You're not going to go as fast, aka you're not going to do as much damage as you would without it, but it's a lot easier to do. You don't want to use it anymore. Okay. Oh, that's awesome then. Let me... Do you have... There's a Weakauras I want to share with you. I think you might have it because you've been hanging out here for a little bit. Do you have the Weakauras that shows you your MS when you cast a Mind Flay? Because that's something that I think you should get and practice with. I think that's like... Oh, you got it from the video? Awesome. So I don't even need to go to the dummy. That's going to be the best way for you to work on that delay, especially without the macro. Because with the macro, you spam your Mind Flay button and it'll cast once it can. You can't interrupt your Mind Flay. But being able to practice, and if you can get like a shaman friend who can drop a haste totem or give you a lust, or even just use some haste potions or, you know, scale, engineering gloves, whatever you can do just to give yourself some haste so that you can play with the variable haste levels, will be the best thing. But yeah, just trying to see how many times you can, you know, just doing a 2-tick Mind Flay. How low can you get this number consistently? So like, can you get perfects? I messed up there. I lost my tick, but like trying to time this, not doing a great job right now, but like, even if you just wait a little bit longer and then you see what that MS is, like that's going to be the best way for you to practice on this. You've been using it since last raid. Yeah, it's no worries, man. Happy to help, Zerko. Yeah, so if Lust is where you need to practice, and telling you get a shaman friend, just ask him to be like, hey, group with me for 30 seconds, cast Lust and leave. And then what I would do is I would practice, do a few Mind Flays before Lust goes out, and then when you have Lust, you know, I just use my Scale of Fates and my engineering gloves, like practice then. And like, yeah, you might not be seeing the numbers you want all the time, but the more you practice, the better you'll get. Okay, so that was a lot on just Mind Flay, but I think the only way to get better at it is to practice. The add-on is in one of your recent videos. Yes. It's actually, if you're watching on YouTube, if you go into the stream, if you go into the video description here, the Mind Flay clip Weakaura. So this is it right here. So it's on YouTube. I should probably add some like commands on, actually I might have commands on Twitch with Nightbot. Is it Weakaura? Oh, so I did add that. So if you do !Weakaura or WA, you can find. Okay, cool. Anyway, it's easier to get lower MS on Mind Flay 2 versus 3. No, I mean, if it's easier for you, you should practice on doing Mind Flay 3s. Mind Flay 2s aren't going to be done as often once we get 4-piece tier 10. I don't know if you'll ever do a Mind Flay 2. Even to refresh dots and stuff, I don't know. It could be really hard to cancel. I don't know what it's going to look like when we have haste and that amount of speed on our Mind Flay, so it's really hard to say, but I think we'll be doing a ton of Mind Flay 3s. Oh yeah, no problem, Zerko. I always try to, you know, throw it out ahead of time. Usually in the beginning of the raid or like a little bit or stream before, but we're probably all booked today. But yeah, I try to, you know, I try to be fair and just get whoever's wants them. I try to do it when there's the most people here. Anyway, yeah, so I would say practice 3-tick. If 2-tick's easier for you, it might be. I would say, if anything, that's more of a reason for you to practice your 3-tick. Like you can see, I'm even doing it too early. I just lost my tick 2 times in a row. It's something that you should absolutely practice. As our haste gets lower, or as our haste gets higher and we get the 4-piece tier 10, it's going to be even more important to make sure you're doing fully channeled Mind Flays. For sure. I can't tell you how often we'll be doing Mind Flay 2s. I don't know. I'm not sure that math has been done. Oh yeah, but so like sometimes why do I do Mind Flay 2s like this? That comes down to dot refreshing. So like I'm gonna try to simulate it here. I don't know if I can get it to be perfectly timed, but like when I want to refresh dots, I'm gonna look at my Mind Flays and like, so here I'm gonna do a Mind Flay. It's not a bad example, but like timing didn't really work out there. It's essentially when you want to refresh a dot instead. So dots are more important than using Mind Flay. So I'm gonna try to time this to that like right here, and then I do a Mind Flay 2 to, that was even a little late. Because sometimes it lines up better that you want to recast a dot after the second tick of Mind Flay instead of the third. So it's just a way to apply your dots sooner, is usually when I'm doing it. Yeah, so it's all about dot uptime. That's the most important thing for Shadow. Sorry, we didn't even take a look at the fight yet. The most important thing for Shadow on any fight, and especially in ICC when there's a ton of multi-target fights, is dot uptime. You will do a lot of damage if you're maintaining your dots on every target you can, and most specifically VT. VT and Devouring Plague are the dots we really care about. Like Shadow Pain's nice, but it doesn't tick as fast or as hard as our other 2 dots. So you want to be able to maintain VT on everything. And if it's a single target fight, just how can you optimize maintaining VT, right? Like, and then putting that. But yeah, so anyway, dot uptime is the most important thing as a Shadow Priest. So you basically want to do a Mind Flay to apply your dots. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case in tier 10. But it's definitely something you want to practice now, for sure. We have 1 minute until raid. Guess I'll take this timer off. All right, cool. And we can look at your. That looks smooth. I mean, it takes practice. I've been playing Shadow Priest for years. Like it's been in my main and retail for like 6-7 years. When you're multi-dotting, how do you go about applying dots? Like, do you apply around to VTs? Oh yeah, so like dot priority, it's Devouring Plague first and then VT everything. So like if these are 4 enemies in a fight, it would be Devouring Plague, VT, 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 and then Shadow Word Pain last. A lot of times you get in the habit of, like, I do this too sometimes when I'm not thinking about it. I'll do VT, Shadow Word Pain, VT, Shadow Word Pain. VT is the more important dot to get up. It ticks harder, it ticks faster. So optimally, you want to apply Devouring Plague first, and then VT after that, and then Shadow Word Pain last. You always start with Mind Blast. I mean, you should sim it. The sim has an option for which spell to start with, but I always start with Vampiric Touch, personally. No problem, Catatonic. All right, I'm gonna... It's raid time. Who are we missing? Okay. Damage Rumby. What loot do I need? I am basically full Abyss. I'm just missing Band of Deplorable Violence. I don't know what I forgot what it's called for Horde, but the 258 ring. And even that is like a 5 DPS upgrade, so like even if it drops today, I don't know that I would take it anyway. The pants were the friends we made along the way. Yeah, I'm basically full Abyss. I got bracers and a GDKP on Monday because I missed our raids because of my wedding this past weekend. So was able to snag bracers for 10k, which was nice. Well, what's up, voter? How you doing, man? All right, we are logging in. Just got to save those tailoring buffs. So hopefully we parse today. We'll see. The thing that's annoying now, it's like I can't really get gear. Like I can't blame my parsing on gear. It's like I either play well or I suck. And that's kind of it. Thanks for your help. You got rain and it snagged a 99 on Beast. Hell yeah, man. Congrats. That's awesome. Oh, where's a Feast? But yeah, I basically have full Abyss. 57, 86 gear score. 263 hit, perfectly hit capped. For Alliance, anyway. Just got to nail Anub. Dude, Anub's hard. My 99 on Anub is no longer a 99. It's gotten to the point where you have to do a 2-minute Anub. You have to skip phase 2 to get a 99 on Anub. I think. I don't know. Maybe there's people who have done it without it, but basically, what buffs was I saving? Tailoring buffs. So 20 crit rating, 20 haste rating, and then 20 health and mana. The health and mana doesn't matter, but the tailoring buffs only last 30 seconds. That's why you're not getting the 99? I mean, enchanting's not the worst. I mean, tailoring, engineering are what you want to be, optimally, but it's also not the worst thing in the world if you're not. All right, let's do it. Let's see if we can parse today. These pots. All right, let's try not to get a kobold. I got kobold back to back in my raids on Monday, so hopefully that doesn't happen today. There's a snowball. So here I'm going to apply VT first. Get a Shadow Word Paint up. Try to run out. Like here, it's like I was moving, so I lost some up time there, but really important to not get hit with these AoEs. My god, I'm like fucking up here. I was just so scared that this... Oh, I shouldn't have cast DP. That was a mistake. My DP just fell off my target. I like really messed it up, so the fact that my damage is high is good, but it could have been better. I fucked up my DP because it came off. Oh, no. Ah, whatever. Oh, interesting. I want to try to get in here. Why pre-pot? Pre-pot, you get it for like 3 seconds. It's like not a ton of value, but it's some. All right, I gotta sneak in here. Yeah. Shut up, I'm not gonna die. Where I'm gonna waste a lot of time moving, but it's so nice to get away from everybody else. See, look at that. If I stayed over there, I'm frozen too. And then I cheat a little bit. I got a bop. Ooh, that guy was close. Nice. Damn, that was sick. We fucked shit up there. Yeah, the bop's a new thing. I only got that. This has been my second week getting it. VTDP Shadow Pain target tracker. Are you talking about in the middle of my screen or on the left? The one on my left is Cleo's. Cleo's dot tracker on Wago. The one above Mana Bar. Yeah, this is all part of OGs. It's actually so... If you saw how I shared, I showed you where that Mind Flay Weakaura was in the video description for for my YouTube stream. I also have, this is an edit of Foji's that was made by someone in the Priest Discord. Wait, are you talking? What's up? I am. I am in disc. I'm just, what's up? What did I do something wrong? Oh. Hi. Oh yeah, that was a good one. Probably. Well, the logs like don't show the total. We don't have live streams. Wow. Okay. That's how it's always been. You just didn't notice. Yeah, it's linked. It's linked in. They're making fun of me for not responding in Discord now. God. Dude, this song is way too slow for this right now. Oh, that was bad. I'm not supposed to use that. Oh, wow. We're parsing today, boys. Oh, fuck. Okay, maybe not. The damage is actually kind of bad right now. I wonder if I fucked up my opener. Oh wow, yeah, my damage is bad. I need to AoE like a champ here. I don't know what I did. I think I kind of fucked up my opener. I was like scrambling a little bit. Sorry, Beast was good. I mean, that was 12.3k. My best is like 12.6. I think I messed up my single target in the beginning of that fight. Symbol of transgression, nice, nice. We haven't seen a ton of those. Yeah. See, I heard that. I'm dropping one. Yeah, Anub's crazy to parse on right now. It's really hard. Slows 4 minute with 2 PIs and FM. I mean, yeah, 2 PIs and FM might be what it takes if you're not skipping phase 2 on Anub.
Everyone calm down. Compose yourselves. There is no conspiracy at play here. The warlock
What's the Weakaura for clicking noise for your ticks? I have everything here. Exclamation. I need to increase the frequency on like. Wait. Why didn't that work? Maybe Nightbot just broke. Oh, there it goes. I have like all my Weakauras and stuff in the video description of the stream. Thanks, Reposition. Thanks, man. Shadow Word Pain. Let's throw this glyph on. What am I using to track damage on the burrowers? Foji has a great Weakaura that tracks damage. You can find it on Wago. Let me type in Foji. Foji Anub add damage tracker. Oh, got a pull timer coming. All right, cool. But thanks, Reposition. It's going well so far. I think I got a personal best on Beast.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, fuck, my Weakauras gone. Shit. Oh, that's what I get for opening my Weakaura window.
Dispel.
Dude, this sucks.
Focus.
Oh my god, this is impossible. How do people do this without a Weakaura? Totally gonna have to mana pot on this one.
Dispel.
Bro,
Dispel.
oh, you bastard, you're reflecting on me. I mean, 16.5K. It wasn't that bad. I think my best is like
Shallow and tragic.
1,000 higher than that.
We are weaker as a whole from the losses suffered today. Who but the Lich King could benefit from such foolish?
I mean, it would have been nice if I had the Weakauras. Probably would have been better, but you know, is what it is.
Lives, and for what? True threat looms ahead. The Lich King awaits us all in death.
Your horde, you don't have it. Yeah. I think Foji has one though. I think in Foji's pack he has something similar. I don't know. I've never used it, but I've heard.
Together will you overcome the final challenge? From the depths of Icecrown come two of the Scourge's most powerful lieutenants. Fearsome Valkyr, winged harbingers of the Lich King.
Oh, you're having spotty internet? That sucks. What video? It's in this stream. In like most of my recent streams. It's made by Vilms. VILLMS. And it's here. Oh, there's no URL. Sorry, I was going to share the URL with you, but I don't have one in here. The Weakaura from Mass Dispel. Like when it says Dispel, that's part of the Welcome TOGC pack. Which is also in the video description. I have like everything in the video description on YouTube. Do I want to swap trinkets? I don't think so. I feel like this trinket's the way to go. Or this, not trinket. Yeah. All right. Oh, you're right. Focus. Good call. Thank you, brains.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, somebody DC'd apparently. Yeah, I'm not doing great right now. I think I kind of fucked up the opener on this fight. Man, I'm not even at 17k. Yeah. Wait, where's my mouse? Don't fall. Yeah, not a great part for me today. Oh fuck, it's gonna fall off. I don't know. I want to go back to ICC. Like, I'm so sick of this raid. I'm ready for I'm ready for the new meta.
Interrupt.
Oh fuck, my thing fell off. Whatever. That's probably almost dead. Whatever. Single target. Also, you just got such bad frame lag or FPS lag here. Yeah, 16.1. My best is 16.8. That's okay. It's okay. You know, parsing isn't the end all be all. It's just the only thing to do when the raid sucks. Not like my raid group. I mean, like the raid itself.
A mighty blow has been dealt to the Lich King. You have proven yourselves as
Oh, did somebody die? That sucks.
Together, we will strike against Ice Crown Citadel and destroy what remains of the Scourge.
All right, let's not get a 99 on a noob and be sad about it now. Do we have live logs yet? No. I want to see my beasts parse. That's all I care about right now. I don't know if the number on this fight is wrong. It's, well, at least for me, it's always matched up pretty well to the logs. Even if it's wrong, I don't think I'm off by 800 DPS. Like, I don't think I had a best parse there, but it's okay. I kind of like stuttered on the opener. I like couldn't click the white thing, and then I struggled to target the other one. It was just like, it was kind of slow, a little sloppy. Oh, did I put my... Which ones? All right. A noob. Oh yeah, so for the people who are wondering on parsing, I'll try to call it out as I'm doing it. But really, the thing, I mean, now it's actually impossible to get a 99 if you're not skipping phase 2. Probably impossible. I mean, maybe with like PIs and FM, it's doable. But you need to optimize your damage on the ads. I gotta sneeze. Okay, maybe not. Yeah, details on Beast doesn't work. That one I know. That's why, like, when they asked me if that was a personal best, I'm like, I don't know. Maybe. Probably.
5, 4, 3.
All right, let's get it.
2, 1.
Oh. Well, a little bit early. So I'm a little bit late here, but you want to Vampire touch these guys as they're running in. I want to single target for a little bit. They're not really close enough. I can Mind Sear off the boss. I don't want to do that. Oh, we had one burrow. So now I definitely don't want to AoE because there's only 3 ads up. Okay, so here, bad ad placement. I'm not going to... I'm just going to ignore them, essentially, is my point. So the thing is, you get to pick and choose where you want to do damage to the adds here. And you want to pick the optimal times, which is when you have the most grouped up. Now, if we're lucky, we might actually have 5 adds grouped up here.
Interrupt.
So we had this other one pop out. So this is actually awesome. Oh, Agora's died. But this is perfect because I can AoE off this guy. Oh, it's not good for the raid. Oh, 440 spikes. Okay. So that was a little scary. It was really good for me from an AoE perspective. Don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me. Get some mana back. Nice. All right, so now here we're gonna do a little bit of damage. Do like 1 Mind Seer. All right, so now you can see I am perfectly above 600k. So now since I'm at 600k ad damage, I just want to ignore them. You're a single target.
Interrupt.
Probably still wasn't my best parse on that fight, but that's basically what you want to do. That's like the best way to do it, I think. Lifeless touch. Jaina's. Nice. Vanquisher, Protector, Vanquisher, Conqueror. Alright, cool. And another Jaina's. Apparently we got like 6 Jainas in a row. 3 different raids, which is kind of cool. But yeah, ooh, rain. That's nice. The only item I would want would be Deplorable Violence, the ring. And I'm good. All right, cool. So that was the second raid for today. Again, just like last raid, I'll just play the ICC boss video kill thing, VOD, for like 10 minutes while we do loot. And then I'll come back and we can finish up some log reviews. But yeah, that's the raid. So if you just want to see raids, then thanks for hanging out. Otherwise, we'll do more log reviews in like 10 minutes after we do loot. Let me pull up Chrome what we were just finishing, Lady Death Whisper. I guess we can skip Gunship because Gunship's kind of boring. Let's go to like a fun one. Let's go to like Future Side. Maybe you guys will learn my love of Future Side if you haven't done the fight yet. All right, I will be back in a bit. We're almost done, so be back soon. Okay, we are done. We're just discussing some officer stuff now, like PTR scheduling, all that fun stuff. I'll just wait for this fight to end and then we can swap it back to my screen. And that was Blood Prince Council. All right, 1 second. Okay, let's do log reviews. Alright, I want to pull my own logs real quick, see if somebody uploaded. And then we can go back to log reviews. Let's see, how was this one? 12.5k. Yeah, that was my best. My best before that was like 11.8. I think that was pretty solid. Nice. And I like kind of fucked up in the middle part. It's okay though. That was cool. I don't think any other fight. Yeah, Jiraxis was fine. Action Champs, fine. Twin Valks. Yeah, 16.1. It's basically what Detail said. That was... Could have done that one better. I'll have to look at that because I like... It felt like I messed up. I just wasn't quite sure where. Yeah, then this fight, it's just like... It's like impossible to get a 99 on this fight now, so... That's sad. At least if you're getting a phase 2. So... Kind of unfortunate. All right, anyway. How can I get Weakaura with DP ticks? The one on the video. Again, that's if you want a Weakaura of mine, it's in the YouTube stream video description. So it's there. That'll have the Weakaura. Like this one that has the DP tick timer, that's in the video description for YouTube. I would share it, I just can't because I don't have the URL in here. No, it's go check it again because this is an edit of the Foji one. So it should say Vilm's edit of Foji's because it is Foji's, but someone in the Shadow Priest Discord edited it for me. No worries. No worries. Okay. So what were we looking? We were looking at beasts, right? Yeah. And we were talking about Mind Flay delay. So we talked about Mind Flay delay. We talked about not using the no channeling macro. What else do we talk about? I kind of forget. I know we didn't actually talk about the fight itself. That's like, I'm very confident on that. So I already have it here. Let's just... Okay, so let's scroll out a little bit. Let's talk about the fight itself, because I know we didn't do that. Over, like, your damage curve itself looks very good. Oh, okay, this is interesting. So something real quick on your Shadow Fiend. So you had 2. One that attack Gormok on pull. Makes sense. Great use of it. Good job. This guy, unfortunately, only did 10k damage. You casted him too early. So you can see he started doing damage around 320. Lust didn't go out till 330. You probably should have waited. So, I mean, what happened here is it just died. Or wait, let's do Shadow Fiend. Damage taken, massive crash. So you did it before the crash. You shouldn't do that. You want to wait for as Ice Hal, that's his name. I was about to say Gormok. As Ice Hal is like charging, you know, as he's charging or once he's stopped and hits the wall, that's when you want to use Shadow Fiend. Because so there's 2 reasons for that. One, he can take damage, so he can get hit by massive crash. If you cast him too late, he can get hit by the whirl, like when Ice Hal like whirls his arms and hits everybody. When he does the ice breath thing, the Arctic breath, and freezes them, that can hit your Shadow Fiend and kill it. So by doing it right at the beginning of Lust, or like right when he's stunned, you get all of that time when Ice Howl is stunned for your Shadow Fiend just to attack and get that 100% damage. So really good use of that if you can just delay this a little bit longer. And then that would have gotten you probably like 50k more damage. Like that probably would have been about 200 DPS just on the fight itself, just by using this a little bit later. So that's unfortunate. That would have made this parse even better. Next, let's talk about the ads, because so much of this is maintaining your damage on the ads. Oh wait, we're looking at the wrong fight. Northrend Beasts 410. That's not. This is 405. All right, let's go to the vassals. These little snowballed motherfuckers. Now, the thing that I want to see is you're putting your dots up. So interesting on Snowballed 4 here, you only put a Vampiric Touch. And I'm going to look at this in logs in a second. You want to put a Vampiric Touch and Shadow Word Pain. They live long enough that your Shadow Word Pain is going to get value. So if you were watching me just do it, as soon as they spawn, so it's like Gormak has them in his hand before he throws them out. If you can get it while it's still in his hand, like when you first see it, you just tab target it and then dot it up really quick before he throws it. That's perfect. Sorry, 1 second. I have to listen to Discord for a second. Yeah, I don't think there's really any other way to do it. Sorry, I have to listen to something in Discord real quick. I'll get back to this in 1 second. We're still having officer chat. I didn't want it to take too long. I didn't want you guys waiting on me too long. Okay, so make sure you get double dots up. And the thing that I want to look at is when did these guys actually spawn? So we can do that if we go to resources, HP, and look at enemies. And we look at snowballed vassals. So this first one came out, it's like 25, 26 seconds in, and you got it at 24/7. So you got this guy dotted up before he even took any damage. So that was perfect, like right here. These next ones aren't actually showing up, which is kind of annoying. Snowballed Vassal, let's go to 2. So Snowballed Vassal 2, hold on. Sometimes it kind of bugs out. 3, okay, so 3 is the one that spawned here, right? So that was 3. Okay, so it was 3, 4, 1, 2. I don't know why these aren't numbered in order. But okay, so let's look at Snowballed Vassal 4. You got your first shot on him at 45 seconds into the fight. So, I mean, 45 is basically when this guy spawned. So, yeah, I mean, the thing is you just would have wanted to make sure you got a Shadow Word Pain on him. So 46 to a minute 04. So he lived for 18 seconds, which means you get the full duration of a Shadow Word Pain, which means you would have wanted to cast it on him. And then we have one Snowballed Vassal 1 and 2, and those are the ones that come out when Gormak dies. They just kind of like explode out of him. So remember how I was talking about dot priority? You do VT, Shadow Word Pain, VT, Shadow Word Pain. What you would have wanted to do instead is VT, VT, Shadow Word Pain, Shadow Word Pain. So I think I was trying to narrate this while I was doing it. Getting out Devouring Plague is good on Vassal 4. I'm assuming this is right at the time that Gormak died. So this is definitely your highest priority dot, and then Vampiric Touch. The thing is, a Snowballed Vassal 4, since it was alive earlier, means it probably died pretty quickly. Like you only got 3 ticks of this Devouring Plague. You would have wanted to put it up on one of these guys. So it's like your last tick here was 104 on Devouring Plague. Your last tick on Vampiric Touch was 113. And then 109. So I guess these guys died pretty quickly, but I would have picked Snowballed Vassal 1, who probably had the most HP. Obviously, you don't know which one is numbered, but this would have been, of the 2 that were there, the one that had the most HP, and I would have put Devouring Plague back on him right after these dots went out, and then gone into your single target like you did here. Cool. So it's, again, for people who like, particularly people struggling to get like 99s, 95s, depending on where you're at, you have different things to optimize. And for you, it's dot priority. Like you're doing all the right things. Now it's how can you do it a little bit more efficiently. But yeah, it's like you obviously know what you're doing, but it's just changing the order so that you can get an extra few ticks of Vampiric Touch, which is going to hit harder than Shadow Word Pain. But then other here, good. On this fight, positioning is extremely important. I guess but we can talk about positioning after. Let's get to the Gorm. Let's get out of HP. Let's go to damage done. Friendlies. Phase 2. Okay, cool. Brains. Okay, your damage curve looks really good. Let's look at Dread Scale. So Dread Scale, you kill first. You have your dots. Cool. Interesting. Okay, so I want to go to the analyzer here. So I'm saying interesting because it seems like you're splitting your single target between Acid Maw and Dread Scale a little bit. So you have your Devouring Plague here, but then you move it over to Acid Maw. Is there a reason for that? I guess Dread Scale you kill for no reason. Okay. Okay, so one thing is you cast Mind Blast first. That might be what you want to do on like a pre-pull for some reason. I don't know. I'll be honest. I know you can sim it and you can say as your precast option, Mind Blast or Vampiric Touch. I have no idea why Mind Blast would ever make sense over Vampiric Touch. Like, I know the sim might say it would. I just don't understand intuitively why that would be the case. Even when it says Mind Blast is more DPS, like, I think it made sense when we had the 4-piece tier 8. But without it, I'm just kind of left wondering why. Anyway, my whole point here is that I think you should just put up dots immediately. So you do Vampiric Touch, Devouring Plague, Shadow Word Pain, and I'm assuming these are back-to-back on Dread Scale. Like, so this is 116, 116, 117. If we look at Acid Maw, when do you dot him up? So you wait about 5 seconds before you dot up Acid Maw. So what you want to do here is Vampiric Touch, Devouring Plague, and then instead of this Shadow Word Pain on Dread Scale, you should swap targets to Acid Maw, and then put up Vampiric Touch. And then you put up Shadow Word Pain on both of them after. So it'll get you a few extra ticks of Vampiric Touch, which again, ticks faster and hits harder than Shadow Word Pain. And then, sorry, I don't know if I'm gonna sneeze, but I got an itch in my nose. Okay, so looking at Dread Scale, this is the one you guys are killing first. Or wait, no, sorry. Is it Acid Maw? Okay, no, it's definitely Dread Scale. You have this period here, so you're kind of in between which one you're attacking. So 117, you cast Shadow Word Pain. You do a Mind Flay. Then it seems like after this Mind Flay, you go and dot up Acid Maw. Then you come back. You cast 2 Mind Flays on Dread Scale. You then go back to Acid Maw, and then come like you're doing a lot of swapping. Like really, okay, let's actually just look at this whole target list. Let's just look at this breakdown. So let's see this in action. So, okay, Dread Scale. So you're starting your cast on Dread Scale here. You swap to Acid Maw here, and you do some single target. You then go back to Mind Flaying Dread Scale, which could make sense to keep up Shadow Word Pain, but you just cast Mind Flay. You then Mind Flay Acid Maw, and it seems like you take a few seconds here. So you have a few seconds of downtime. Where you want to make sure you're using Shadow Word Pain or Devouring Plague. I'm sorry, Shadow Word Death or Devouring Plague on the move, if that's what happened to be the case here if you were moving. So make sure you're using an instant spell when moving. But anyway, so it's like you're attacking Acid Maw, you're attacking Dread Scale, you're attacking Acid Maw, you're attacking Dread Scale, you're attacking Acid Maw, Dread Scale. Again, you have a Mind Flay, which is probably to refresh Shadow Word Pain. You should pick a target and stick with it. You maintain your dots on the other target. It's not bad to spread damage. It's just you're kind of going back and forth. The thing is, you're going to have a kill target and then like the other worm. Your kill target is going to have all the debuffs on it. It's going to have the crit debuffs. It's going to have the 13% spell damage. It's going to have everything on that. The other target might not. It might have them all, but it also might not. Like, it's probably not going to have Ebon Plaguebringer, which means your Devouring Plague isn't going to be getting increased damage on that one. So basically, you want to funnel all of your single targets. So obviously your dots, but Devouring Plague, Mind Flay, Mind Blast into your kill target. And then the other one, the other Jormungar, you just want your dots on it. You just want your Shadow Word Pain and your Vampiric Touch. And you just maintain those. And then when the one Jormungar, the first one has like 1,000,000 HP, you can swap to the other one. Since it has 1,000,000 HP, your dots are going to continue ticking. Other people can kill it, and their dots will continue ticking. So it's optimal DPS to not keep attacking your kill target until it dies, but you swap when it has about 1,000,000 HP, and then you start dotting up the other target. That's what I did. Does that all make sense? You're kind of going back and forth a little too much. You know, you pick your target, you stick with it, refresh your dots, come back to your main target, stick with it, refresh your dots. But again, like, I think what you did here ultimately worked. I think your damage was actually pretty good. It could have been better. You could have optimized this a little bit better. Oh, and then the final thing, which it seems like you did here, is that when they burrow, just make sure you have your dots going. So I see Vampiric Touch, Shadow Word Pain, and Devouring Plague. So just make sure just before they burrow, you're refreshing all of your dots. That's what I was trying to do. I was kind of getting stuck on that today, where I couldn't, in like the mess of everything happening on my screen, I couldn't actually find my timer, even though I know where it is for Submerge. So I was trying to refresh my dots constantly because I was like, I don't know when he's submerging. I should have just taken a second to figure it out. But again, just making sure you refresh your dots just before the burrow happens, perfect. Because you just get extra damage for like that 8 to 10 seconds. And then you're single target. That's fine. So I think you did that relatively fine. Let's go phase 3. Why did I exit out of you? Okay, again, we talked about your Shadow Fiend. I think a lot. Or let's. Oh, something I actually want to talk about here is positioning. Positioning is super important. So if you remember when I did the fight, we had a gas cloud that was about to disappear. And I was like, I'm moving here, right? Because the boss was going to get moved to the side of that gas cloud, but nobody was going to be standing where that gas cloud was. So I can move in and take that spot. Hold on one second. I need to swap Discord channels. I can. Sorry, I'm just catching up on Discord messages. I can take that space that wasn't being occupied by anyone because that gas cloud was there. And then I have that entire area free to not get Arctic breathed. Now, it doesn't look like you got breathed here, but it's still something to keep in mind that you want to make sure that you're positioning yourself to have for, let me how to phrase this. You want to position yourself for the potential for mechanics to least impact you, if that makes sense. I feel like I could have worded that better. But so if we look at the replay, let's go down here. Okay, so Ice House here, you're standing here. This is terrible spot. Not only are there a bunch of ranged here too, your melee are all right here. So it's very likely it's coming in this area, the Arctic Breath. So like for me, where I was standing, I was basically where this like AF lock is, like in between the AF and the disc, because there's only like 3 people over here. The chance of this area getting breath, super low, super low. Chance of this area getting breath, super high. I'm actually amazed that you didn't. Or maybe you did, and I don't. You could get at it. Are you Horde or are you Alliance? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, yeah, you're really banking on luck. Now, a lot of this fight is banking on luck, but you can minimize, or you can like maximize your luck by having good positioning. That makes sense? All right, cool. So even though it didn't impact you here, trying to figure out where you can go to maximum, and this isn't just this fight. This is every fight. This fight just happens to have mechanics that can really screw you up if you're grouped with other people. But this is especially true in ICC, where trying to figure out the best spot you can go so that you're not near other people, but so that you can reach every target that you're trying to attack is going to be really important. So it's kind of something you always want to have on your mind. But you didn't get frozen, so we don't need to like belabor that point. So, oh, you Shadow Fiend early, right? And then it died. So let's see, where does the stun happen here? Probably with Lust, right? Yeah, so there's a few seconds here in Mind Flay. Interest. Okay, so was your Lust early? Okay. When did... Okay, let's go back to Analyze. I want to look at, what's his face? Ice Hal. And when did he get the debuff? How do I see all these? How did I have it before? Hold on one second. Oh, all abilities. What's it called? I already forget. Is it a buff? Might be a buff, actually. Staggered days. There we go. I was like saying, I noticed before when I found it, it happened immediately. Or like it was the only thing on the sheet. It's weird that it's a buff. So at 335 is when he gets... okay, you got bopped. So at 335 is when he gets... Okay, so interestingly, so at 335, you're single targeting him. First thing you want to do after he gets stunned is... Well, I guess right here where this Mind Blast is, that should be either a Vampiric Touch or your Shadow Fiend. So essentially what I try to do is if he's... Like, you saw when he was running at me, he, like, came right in front of my character. So, like, if my face is my character and my hand is Ice Hal, he was like this, like... Sorry, I'm trying... I know this is an awkward thing, but, like, he ran right in front of my character. The reason I positioned myself so close to the path that he was running is because I want to cast on him as he's moving. So, as he's moving and about to hit the wall, I am casting a Vampiric Touch. Because I want to It was scary. I want to refresh that dot as he's moving because I don't want to have to cast it when he's stunned. Basically, when he's stunned, I only want to be casting single target spells and I don't want to have to refresh dots. So refreshing that dot in that moment allows me to not need to worry about it once he's stunned. Now, once he actually hits the wall, I guess here so you can actually see my hand, that's when I do Shadow Fiend and Devouring Plague. You don't cast a Devouring Plague until 344, so 9 seconds after the stun, he snapshots the damage on Devouring Plague. Or let me rephrase that. Devouring Plague snapshots that 100% increased damage buff, which means when you cast it before he has that debuff, your Devouring Plague doesn't benefit from it until you recast it. So basically, for 9 seconds, your Devouring Plague was doing 100% less damage than it could have been. So at 330, so these ticks that were doing 2.8k here, they should have been doing double that, starting at 336 onward. Those all should have been doing double the damage, but you didn't recast it. Yes, only for Devouring Plague. Devouring Plague is the only dot that behaves that way. So essentially, so what your cast order should have been here, so you cast Vampiric Touch as he's running. Once he hits, you do Shadow Fiend and Devouring Plague, and then you go into your single target rotation. You do your Mind Flays, you do your Mind Blast. You want to make sure that your Shadow Word Pain doesn't fall off in this time as well. And then you want to try not to do this. So at 341, you're recasting Vampiric Touch. 341, again, this ends at 350. So 335 to 350. So in that 15-second period, you don't want to be recasting dots at all if you can avoid it. So you don't want to recast this here. You want to save. I know your Devouring Plague just fell off at this point, but you cast it once at the start at 335, and then you cast it right at the end at like 348. Because again, it's going to snapshot that 100% damage. So even though the buff left at 350, this Devouring Plague, I mean, this one too, is going to benefit. You can see it's ticking for 13k, 11k. Let me zoom in. I know it's small for you guys probably. It's going to maintain that 100% damage for the entire cast. So you just want to make sure that you cast it at the final second. So this one's cast at 344. You would have wanted your first one to be cast at 335 and then your second at like 348, 349. Does that all make sense, Brains? So like if you did this right, if you dotted the adds, I guess like your add damage for the first phase of the fight wasn't that bad. Like it wasn't bad at all. It's just it was slightly suboptimal with your dot order. And then if your Shadow Fiend doesn't die, I think you probably could have gotten an extra 300 to 500 DPS easy. I mean, 200 of that DPS is just from your Shadow Fiend not dying. But then, like, missing out on, like, I think your Ice Howl damage, like, I guess, for example, like, we were looking at Ice, like, if we look at your Ice Howl, oh, sorry, too far back. If we look at your damage to Ice Howl, so you spike at around 22, 23K. I probably spike around 30K. Let's fight this one. I'm like, granted, my Shadow Fiend didn't die. So you can see I spike just shy of 30K. And my Shadow Fiend's doing about 4K. It peaks at 4.7. So, like, if we look at yours, again, you're 22. Yeah, so it's like your Shadow Fiend not dying does even more. But then it's like this tail, like this gradual decline that happens because he loses that debuff will be higher because you've snapshotted that Devouring Plague. Is your kill time a lot faster than ours? Oh, no. Interesting. Our crash came sooner, I think. I know your Mind Flay just did a lot more damage than mine. Your Mind Flay did a shit ton compared to me. It's kind of funny. Cool. But yeah, I think your damage is really good. It can absolutely improve by a good amount. Hey, what's up, Malasite? Oh, wait, Folder, what are you talking about? You missed what? Sorry, I wasn't looking at YouTube chat. All right, cool. Brains, any questions on that? No, but I mean, your logs are good. Why did your Mind Flay do so much more than mine now? I'm like, what the hell? So it's like, if anything, if you timed your, like, considering your Mind Flay peaks at 14K, I mean, mine only peaks at like 10 for a second, but was really at like 8 to 9K. You should have been, if you did everything that I'm talking about here, your peak would have been well over 30K. You probably would have been like 33 to 35K. Because I'm like right just under 30K, and that's with my Shadow Fiend and the extra Devouring Plague and stuff. So like your damage could have been a lot higher too. When do you snapshot Shadow? I mean, you cast Shadow Fiend. Right. That's why your Mind Flay is so high, because you guys have Lust. Oh. So this is another thing working in your favor, which is really cool for you. And I wish we don't do parsing strategies, which this is what that is. You guys Lust on, I'm like, this is why everything's so much higher. I like forgot you guys Lust here. Since you're Lusting here, you want to put your Shadow Fiend out just before Lust. So actually, hold on, let me go back, because I was like not thinking about Lust here. Oh, so this Mind Blast was casted after Lust goes out. You want your Shadow Fiend to be cast before Lust. So if it's possible, you probably have to cast it like as he's charging, as he's running. So you want to make sure that, because if your Lust, it depends on your Lust timing. I don't really know when your Lust went out. I mean, I can look. Oh wait, this is my log. Your Lust went out at 333. Let's look at the replay. Where was he at 333? We can figure this out. Where is he? Oh, so he's here. Oh, so this is hard. I don't know if you can time your Shadow Fiend with Lust. Because so when you say snapshot, that's the only thing, right? You're doing it before the crash, which makes sense. That's how you do this strategy. I don't know if you can. That makes a lot of sense on why you did your Shadow Fiend when you did. No, I think you just, I think I stand by what I said before, is that like, you see how he's running straight across as I drag it. Once he gets here, or maybe even once he's a little bit, like once he's like right here, and he's still going towards the wall, that's when you, so it's like, if we scroll back here, so it's like as he's running, you're casting Vampiric Touch. And then once he gets like here-ish, you cast Shadow Fiend, and then you go into your Devouring Plague. And then your single target after. Does that all make sense? Right, you don't care about Shadow Fiend getting less. I don't think with your timing, your Shadow Fiend can get less safely. Even with you getting Bop, it's just like, your Shadow Fiend would have to run across the room. You'd probably lose a lot of uptime. I don't think it's worth it, personally. Do I care about the Trinket proc? Kind of. For your recasting Devouring Plague, you do. I'm assuming you have Flare. I already forget your gear, to be honest. Yeah, so if you have Flare, yeah, so you'll probably recast it with Flare, your Devouring Plague. That's why, did you get my Weakauras? Did you get this one right here? That shows, no. Okay, so go here. Into this stream, pause this, get the customized Foji Priest UI courtesy of Ilms. So what this does, this is my same one. When it glows green like this, you want to recast Devouring Plague because it's going to be strong enough over the one that's currently on your target that it's worth recasting. And that's going to happen essentially during Lust. It's going to happen with a Flare proc and then maybe some other kind of proc. Like, it just depends. Here, let me just give you this link. Go to that link. No worries. All right, cool. All good? Makes sense? All right, Alex, you are up. Can you send me your character name? I know it's Booty, but I also I don't know how to make those O's. Actually, Alex said his internet wasn't doing great, so maybe he might not be here. Yeah, no problem, Brains. All right, I don't think Alex is here. Did anybody else want a log review? I'll do one more. If not, just call it here. But happy to do one more if anybody else wants one. All right, or we can just call it a night. Yeah, I guess I'll throw it out there one more time. Anybody want a log review? If not, that's it for the stream. Thanks for hanging out. Unfortunately, not going to be able to stream ICC next PTR, so I'm sad about that. But I'll definitely be putting out videos after it. So be on the lookout for those. All right, cool. Well, that's it. I'm gonna call the stream here. Have a good night. And if you enjoy American football, then first game of the season started tonight, so go watch and enjoy. Maybe stream without the boss new strat. Stream without the boss. Hide the stream, maybe. Yeah, you know, it's interesting. I'd love to be able to stream, but I just without the boss, you want to. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you know, we'll see. I'll talk to him about it this weekend and try to see, like, on the early fights, maybe I can put the stream on and then. But I mean, we're going to be spending the bulk of the time on fights that are hard, or the fights that we want to optimize, whether that's like some strat on Saurfang or some strat on Sindra. I guess it would be the only fights I can really think of that have caused us trouble are Saurfang, Sindragosa, Putricide, and then obviously Lich King, who we haven't gotten to yet. So we'll see. Maybe I can do the first part of the raid, and then once we get to the harder bosses that we want to spend some time trying to figure out some strategies on, I'll turn it off then. But we'll see. We'll see. I'll try to do whatever I can. I think at the very least I could probably do 10-man potentially towards the end of the week, which would be like, that would be at the end of the PTR session. But anyway, I'll try to let you guys know next week, because we'll still do TOGC next week. So I'll stream those raids at the very least. Then I'll kind of talk about whatever streaming I can or cannot do following that. Yeah, or at the very least, maybe I'll put out like I'll try to find. It's so hard. I want to put out content, but it's any video technically has strategies, even if it's not spoken about. It's like people can see them, and that's the hard thing. I'll try to figure it out. I do want to put out content. I don't know the best way to do it. I mean, I obviously have the footage from last BTR test, but I'd prefer to use new stuff. Anyway, we'll figure it out. I'll talk to you about it next week. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. But yeah, have a good night, everyone. We'll end the stream here. Don't pressure yourself. I mean, I want to stream for you guys. But anyway, have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. See you guys next week.